Well, good evening everyone and welcome along to round 2 for the BMW Race Drivers E-Series in New Zealand. They're racing at Lime Rock Park tonight. There'll be a handful of races, got qualifying coming up and all sorts of... Look, we're just going to go and roll with the punches as they happen. So no stress, no fuss. We'll be pretty colloquial. We'll have a lot of fun. My name is Craig Lord. We're best friends now, so you can call me Sooty as we watch a car in practice do. A double turnpike twist and an overhead flip. I'd give him a 7.4 out of 10. Joining me tonight is Andrew Anderson from Pine Pack ITM Racing, who's had many years behind the wheel of a race car. He's the one who'll actually tell us the truth about what is going on while I rabbit on about something kind of irrelevant out on the racetrack. So let's see if we've got Andrew with us. Good evening, Andrew.
Yes, good evening, Sooty. We're coming in from West Auckland and actually Western ITM, but that's all right. We'll let you off. But yeah, look, really excited to be watching the BMW series here at Lime Rock Park. Boy, we've got quite a bumper field. Geez, it's going to be pretty hot, that's for sure.
Yeah, especially the reverse grid race later on in the evening. That's going to be off the chain. But
yeah,
talk us through this track. I mean, it's very small. The laps are super fast. The cars are medium size. I mean, the Z4 is a fantastic machine in real life, and now we get to watch them play around in the sim. But this track is really interesting and with limited places to pass. So what's the challenge ahead, Andrew?
Yeah, you've hit the nail on the head. I mean, you've got a big car going around a small track. Those of the Kiwis around us who've been around long enough to remember the old Taupo circuit, it's like taking a big limo around a tiny little go-kart track. But look, these cars are spectacular. They're fast. They've got aero. This track's got the tight chicane around the back, and then we've got the high speed up over the crest, under the bridge, down onto the front straight, full commitment. We've seen a lot of them clipping the grass on the exit to get that run down the long straight. So look, it's got a bit of everything. It's got high speed, it's got tight chicane at the back, uphill undulation. You know, it's really a very unique circuit. It's certainly from cutting a few laps on this during the lockdown, it makes you want to go and sample it in real life. And I'm sure after tonight, a lot of the guys will be thinking the same.
Yeah, I'm sure they will be, which they're about to get ready now to go out and do a qualifying session. So what we'll try and do is see if we can find anybody out there who is doing it. We'll try and
grab one of
let's
those cars
see,
there.
54 is out there by the look of it. So let's see if we can find 54 somewhere on the racetrack. There we go.
There we go.
First one out.
Excellent. So yeah, look, he's running the full factory works BMW livery as he comes here. This is the back chicane I was talking about. You really got to get the car slowed up, not clip those curves. They throw it off out of balance and then climb the hill. He looks like he might be on an outlap here, just trying to get a bit of tire temp up. High speed right-hander, a little bit blind, and then down the long sweeping right-hander onto the front straight. So this is where a lot of time can be made up, getting a great run here. Down the Samposi straight. Deep under brakes. Look at that, nice and settled. On board here. He's just got the outside there, but he's managed to gather it back up. Otherwise, it just washes out onto the grass. So we're down to second gear. There's great onboard graphics here.
Well, I'd say that his tyres are still cold, yeah? We only done one small lap.
Yeah, look, we get 2 lone laps in qualifying. So everybody's out there on a sole lone qualifying. That's the beauty of iRacing. You can send everybody out for private qualifying. Nobody gets in the way of anyone else, and it's just you and the stopwatch.
Right, so a great little run so far. Takes it nice and wide. Hits the grass.
Oh, that'll be an off
little
track.
Too wide. Yeah.
This is something that's new to us in the real world, is that you can get away with that in the real world and it doesn't affect the stopwatch. But here in iRacing, you go over those white lines too much, it just blanks your time. That's it. It's over. Don Burger. So it's going to be interesting to see. That lap before would certainly have been an off track, and he's only got two to put in a quali time, so he's got to make this one count.
Okay, let's see if we can find any of our other drivers out there at the moment. We've got Gene Rollinson in a bright blue machine. So Gene's experienced in the real world. How about in the sim? Have you heard much about what he's been doing online?
Yeah, look, Gene's a bit of a dark horse here. He's exceptional in the real world with multi-car aspects, and certainly here in the sim as well. He's pretty damn quick. I've struggled to keep up with him. I must be to be honest.
Well, let's see how he goes here into turn number 1. Hits the ripple strip very nicely, nice and calm. A
Yep.
little bit of brake now. Is that the right? I mean, it's so difficult, isn't it? If you get yourself slightly out of line on this track because the corners come, each turn comes up so quickly, you've virtually lost a whole lap of time if you make one mistake. Is that right?
You have, through that turn 1-2 complex, all the way up until this run here down into the chicane. They all flow into one another. So he's just clipped the curb there, get a nice run up the hill, and a good exit. So we'll see how he's going here on the approach to the sweeping right-hander. Pitches it in, a little bit of curb, but nicely inside the white line. Down the hill. Oh, this is looking good for Gene. So as he crosses the stripe here at the moment. Oh, Sooty, he's gone P1.
Yeah, he's punched out a 51.572 and he's quite happy with that. So let's go to Jaden Mason, who's already stopped as well. Jaden, well, he's down further. Dunstall's done a 51.6. Who else is out on circuit? Cullingford's trying to come around.
Here we go. What's his second fly going to be? Crosses the line. All right, it's 52.1, so it's a little ways off, about 0.6 of a second at the moment behind Gene Rollinson.
And it's interesting already, we can see the gaps forming. We've got those in the 51 and then those in the 52. We're already starting to see some stretching into 53. Now what that means is that across the board throughout this race, you've got a real mix of different talent and ability, and that's going to make it so much fun.
Oh, absolutely. As we see him exit to the pits there, so I think most of the field would have completed their laps, but
yeah, well, let's take a look at it, shall we? We'll jump straight in, and for some reason, we are looking at positions 19. So let's drop back to position 1. So it is Gene Rollinson with Bloomquist. There's our international guest star, a genuine, bona fide, honest BMW race car driver. He's going to be on the front row. So that's interesting. One of New Zealand's best up against the next New Zealand international best, Andrew.
Yeah, and some of the greatest up-and-coming sim races that New Zealand's got in the wings at the moment. So here we go. We can see the field getting out onto the grid. So as the top counts down. But yeah, going through that, you know, Casey and others.
I've taken it all away from you, mate.
I know. There's so much to look at. I'm looking at the charts. Here we go. We see this bumper field. Boy, wouldn't you just love to see that in NZ in real life? Wow, look at that.
Yeah,
spectacular.
The Z4's been around for what, nearly 10 years now, at least, I would think.
It's still a sexy looking thing. Look at it.
Yeah, it is. It's great. And it's got one of the, it's like the Mercedes. It has a fantastic, unique sounding engine in real life. That 4.4 litre BMW V8 is absolutely fantastic. So at the moment, they are getting their race control call. They're being told what they are and aren't allowed to do, how this heat race is going to come about. You can see the grid there. They're all lining themselves up. So I think race control is finished with them. The lights, Andrew, are about to go green. I'll try and get the best camera shot I can, and maybe a chopper on Gene Rollinson might be the way to go. And is it a rolling start? Is that correct?
It is a rolling start. You can see the Mustang safety car out there. So we'll get round and tour. I think it's one lap formation here at Lime Rock. So we look back through the field from the safety car.
Well, that gives us
view.
A time again to have a really good look at this grid again. So as I said, we've got the international Tom Bloomquist. He's in the white and red stripe, and he is a official genuine BMW race car driver coming tonight into the New Zealand round to have a real play. And for those who don't know the name, his dad is Stig, the original race car driver Stig, and Tom is a multiple champion in all sorts of things. I mean, he's done, well, what hasn't he done? Formula 3 Euro, Formula European, the DTM, sorry, in Germany. This guy's done it all. So then we've got Sabo Dunstall, and your young man, Andrew, is on the third row. Have we got some sort of cheating going on here?
No cheating at all. I mean, as I look to my right, I can see him in the sim there. He's all tensed up, ready to go.
All right, no pressure.
No pressure. We'll try and put the sound barrier up between the microphones if it gets a bit heated, but I'm sure it'll be nice and clean. These guys are they've been doing the sim racing for a few weeks now, so they're it's as good as watching the real life stuff.
It is Peter Bennett, the Australian, who is here in New Zealand. He is having a race, and I must say he's looking pretty fine and sharp out there. Then we've got Matthew Griffin, who is an actual genuine BMW race car driver series champion.
Yep, and we're starting to get ready for the lights, so we're about to go green. You can see them all. Oh, Gene's got the jump. He's got a nice clean getaway here. Let's see the field behind as they come into turn one. Who's going to be late onto the brakes? We just want to get the field through here for the first of 15 laps. Look at the gap that Gene's been able to pull out just in that short bit of track already. Guys are going defensive behind. So Gene, he's an accomplished driver. He's used to being out the front, so he's got a nice gap here as he head down into the chicane. And hard on the brakes. Oh, Blomqvist is coming in, but no contact. Look, it's staggering. They've got around nearly the trickiest part of the circuit, and already there's seems to be no contact in what we can see. So
let's go back there and take a wee little look, shall we? There is Blomqvist. He's got a nice lead. In fact, this whole pack of what, 4 or 5 cars, even 6, have just started to clear away before we can see anyone else.
Yeah, Blomqvist is he's back here in the P3 at the moment. As we look at the cars behind. So Sabo's there behind him. Just a little bit further back to Kirk, so there's a bit of a gap back there. And at the moment, this bunch is about 2 seconds away from Gene up the front of the field already.
Well, let's go on board with Sabo, yes, as he takes in that tight chicane, and it's a decision. Do you go first gear, second gear, and it makes all the difference.
Oh, it certainly does. And this one here, high speed in, 4th gear back to 3rd. Oh, we've got a car off on the outside there already. Down the hill, brave here, get it turned in, and then hard on the gas down the front straight. So these cars here, they do get a lot of tow. So it'll be interesting to see whether they can get under the brakes.
Well, here comes a good pass coming in. In fact, we need to go, I think, on board with Blomqvist, because he's got Sabo in behind, but he's trying very hard to catch up to Dunstall in front. In fact, he gains on him, then loses position.
He's got to run on him here. He's got good exit. He gets tucked right under the boot wing. Dunstall goes defensive, takes that inside line, but look for Blomqvist to get a run up the hill. Oh, look at the switchback. This is a perfect opportunity to get by. Textbook.
Great racing shown there. That is actually, you're right, it's textbook. Absolutely brilliant. Stitch him up, lots of pressure, put the pass on.
Yeah, no, that was just a beautiful thing to watch. I could go back and replay that all night, I think.
Have you ever done that yourself? No, probably not. Let's not go there, eh?
Oh, watch the replays.
No, done a great racing move.
Shouldn't have done that. No, sheesh. Yeah, no, look, that just shows the class of the driver, even in the sim world. Still pulls off a textbook manoeuvre. Here we go, bit of lap traffic. This is going to be interesting. Oh, he's lost
going
it.
Around.
Oh, we gave him the commentator's curse.
Oh dear,
oh my gosh.
And it's so costly, isn't it? Because once you go on the grass in iRacing, you lose a massive amount of positions. He's dropping down 8 spots.
Everything's modelled, including the grass, and every race driver knows as soon as you hit that, it's all over.
Yeah,
so,
exactly.
He's now back in the 11th position.
And he's in behind. In fact, he's stuck himself in a driver who looks to be 12 positions down, Revis, who's had a shocker, number 27. He's lost 12 positions, but he's gained a couple there, I suppose.
Yeah, so the format tonight is that the heat races will then make way for a feature, and then we have a reverse grid feature. So it'll be interesting to see how much ground he makes up through this race, or will he bide his time and take advantage of the reverse grid?
Yeah, all right, so we'll wander back up the front of the track, shall we, and see who's doing what. It's Gene Rollinson out in front. In fact, he's going to do some lapping, I would say. Unfortunately,
yeah, he's coming up on Gilchrist.
Yeah, we've lost our track map, so that's not going to be helpful, but we'll get by without it.
So yeah, at the moment, Gene's clean pair of heels. He's actually put down the fastest lap of the race as well, a 51.5. It's pretty impressive. Certainly making use of the clean air out front. Oh, Barbie's gone off out in the grass.
There's not a lot that can be done about that. Look at
Oh, she's
Rollinson
gone
go.
out. She's gone out to find Ken. Ken wasn't there.
Oh
Yeah.
dear, let's go to the chopper, shall we? See what's going on. In behind Rollinson. There's some pressure, Andrew.
Yeah,
Not
look,
the
he's
right-
got the
not the
overlap
right
down
place
the
to do it,
outside.
though,
I
is
don't
it?
think you're going to go all the way down there, son.
No, it's not the right place to try, but what it does is it puts pressure on that driver. Yes, you lose some traction, you lose some ground, but already you're showing that driver in front that you're better on that corner.
Oh, absolutely, and showing that you're willing to stick your nose down the inside as well. This is a familiar sponsor name in New Zealand, MTF Finance. Great looking car there by the Herberts. Always put out a presentable automobile. As we see Joel here pitching it into turn one. I think you just love the down change back, you know, the flames out the exhaust. Getting all the features here in iRacing. We're not wanting for anything. The graphics here are just absolutely spectacular.
Yeah, except when I turn them off accidentally, Andrew.
Oh,
Yeah.
that was my segue into turn them back on. Like, oh, look at
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
We can now see Kirk,
Yeah, Sooty messed it up again.
and it's Starrock is behind. Robinson just behind there. Well, IKEA looks like it's having a go. Oh, another commentator's curse. Herbert's gone wide. Look at that. 2 spots. So Kirk and Sturrock have got past. Robinson is trying to make a move now.
Well, let's have a look at it going into turn one. We've got 6
Oh, it's
cars
getting busy.
deciding who's going to go in. 43 goes around nice and clean, and that is Sturrock.
Sturrock, yes. Some great liveries that we're looking at here tonight. I mean, you've got to remember we've got to look at the action. I'm just checking out all of these pretty cool liveries.
Well, yeah, people put so much time into their graphics, almost sometimes more time making the car look good than they do spend it driving.
Oh, and it's great that they're able to pull their real-world sponsors into the game.
What do you think about the bonnet problem on Kirk? I think Hayden
Oh.
Kirk has a little issue.
I think the aerodynamics down the front straight here are going to not be too flash, so let's see. Those following behind might be able to take advantage here. And oh, yeah, look at that. Yeah, iRacing, as we talked about it before, they simulate everything, and that there just is a prime example of the extra drag that car is pushing. So.
But he came in very, very hot, did Robertson. He nearly lost that position. He's actually made up 4 spots, so he's doing really well. And unfortunately for Hayden Kirk, I think you're right about his car not feeling right. He's probably actually also damaged it and decided not to go into the pits.
I think he's quite lucky that it's predominantly right-hand circuit, because if he was going left-hand, that tyre there that we can see now, I don't think would be doing a good job.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's
So
see
Mason's
how
here going to get a run.
Yeah, Mason's right on the back of him here.
Oh, he's sweating all over him.
And this is pressure because we know that Kirk will be looking in the rear vision mirror. Even though it's a game, he's still looking in the rear vision mirror.
Yeah, here we go. Look at the run down the front straight. Will he get the slipstream? Be able to pull out late under brakes. Well, surprisingly, he wasn't able to, but then he's also suffering a bit of frontal damage, so maybe the modelling on his car is not as good as it was coming off the factory showroom floor.
I must say, Cullingford in behind has got a whole lot of grip because he's going left, right, left, right, left, right, down the front straight.
Yeah. Just watching a bit of a John Deere tractor out there doing the lawn mowing, but
Yeah, plenty of that, isn't there?
back down the run to the chicane. We've got a bit of an overlap coming on Herbert behind. But, I must say, this bunch, there's not much between them. We still have Gene out front.
Oh, there's
Gene
some
Rollins.
contact finally between these guys. I knew it was going to happen, and it's cost another 2 positions. It's just the way it is.
Oh, I don't think our paycheck has got Beto on the line. We need to throw that. Oh, we've got another car around on the front straight. Thankfully, they're out the way, but should we phone a friend and try and see if Beto wants to adjudicate on that one, or we just click the reset button and say play on?
We might have to. We're looking back now. We're on board with Sabo, looking at Sturrock in behind. The car is a little bit messy. The Z4 is going to need some panel work, but they're having a great race, and this is for position number 3 in the race. And
Yes, at the moment there's about 3 seconds behind to the cars behind, but yeah, ahead, Dunstall. It was just under a second, 0.7 of a second up, and then he could fight for the second place on the podium for this race. It looks like it's Gene's gone. He's bolted. He's on lap 12 of 15, so it's nearly the end of the first heat race.
Yeah, that's right. Let's check out this battle plan that's happening for positions number, well, yeah, as you said, 4, 5 and 6. They're too far away to be really trying to gain anything apart from a little bit of pride and some points in the championship at this stage.
Oh, you can't tell me that this doesn't matter. These guys are taking it serious. They want bragging rights tomorrow around the water cooler, as they say.
Yeah, that's right. And even though it's online, they do. And there's lights flashing, so the pressure is coming on. Car number 43, Sturrock, is all over the back of Dunstall now. Oh no, it's Sabo, is it? I'm trying to work out who is who. Has someone lost? Oh, we've got a broken car. That's what's going on.
Yeah, we've got a bit of lap traffic there.
Right.
Looping through.
Well, it did get out of the way, so that's a good thing. So Sturrock at the moment, someone is going into pits. I'm unsure who it is. It is Rollinson. Now, why is Rollinson gone into the pits? Let's take a little look, shall we? Is that because he's finished the race? I'm trying to see
what's... are still showing there's a couple to go, so...
So Kieran Rollinson has entered the pits.
Oh, Kieran. Okay, well, Gene's still out the front.
Oh, Gene's still out the front. Sorry, right.
Yeah.
So Kieran way back. Well, let's go back into second spot, shall we? And see who is doing what. There's the fight for second position between Dunstall and Sabo.
So there's nothing between them here. It's coming up the back straight, dropping down here. This high-speed right-hander onto the front straight. Wants to get tucked right under that wing. Oh, Dunstall's got a good run, so he's been able to put a bit of a gap on Sabo.
Yeah, it is a good run.
This is a real tricky corner, this turn one. Take the initial turn in apex and then run it out wide and take a second apex for the second part of the corner.
There is technically two ways of doing it, isn't there? And you've got to make the decision.
The right way, my way, and the wrong way, your way.
Here we go.
Here we go. We've got an overlap down into the chicane.
Now, this is exactly the same pressure that was put on earlier in the race, and it's more of a, I can do this. I am better than you under brakes. I can get up beside you. But Dunstall doesn't care because he's got the inside line, and really Sabo can go out the outside as much as he wants. It's not going to stick.
Yeah, it's definitely the long way around, and it's definitely not a 2-car wide corner, that chicane. It's very narrow.
Yeah, that's right. Here's our leader, Rollinson Gene, in car number 9, well in front by 2.8 seconds. So, and there's even lap traffic in between that. So we know that he is going to take the checkered flag. We really do need to go back and see what the race has happened in second and third on this final lap between positions 2 and 3, Dunstall and Sabo. And at the moment, Dunstall is still holding sway.
Oh, is the lap
17.
traffic going to play a part here? Oh, it has. Oh, he's not going to send it down the inside. I thought he was going to do the big... Oh, it's... Oh, I thought he was going to do the big Dr. Dive bomb, but it hasn't come out yet.
It was worth a crack.
Yeah, he's still looking. There's been contact on the back of that car, though. Look at it. The front and the back of those two are moulded together.
I'm absolutely loving the pressure here. We know that the checkered flag is...
taken the flag, yep.
Yep, but it's saying lap 16 of 15, so what am I missing here?
Yeah, so they're coming across the stripe. They're taking the checkered now, so technically iRacing has said they're on their 16th lap now, but the checkered flag's out, showing down the leaderboard.
A bit of high-tech stuff going on. We'll go further back in the field. Yeah, Mason coming through, Kirk. Oh, yeah, bit of grass, but they've all taken the checkered flag, so let's...
He's camouflaging himself, the green car on the green grass. Love it.
We'll wait for the results to bring themselves forward. We've really got to wait for the rest of the field to come through. That's all we are waiting for. As they come across the stripe, a various amount of them. There should be no one out on the track. No, they're all coming off. They're all disappearing. They're pushing the escape button, which is how it works.
Next heat.
That's
so looking down the score sheet, Blomqvist was way down the order there, but he was able to beat Gene for the fastest lap of the race. So
yeah, well, let's take a look at it, shall we? 6.8 second lead from Rollinson. That's not bad at all, is it? Dunstall in second with Sabo, then Sturrock, Robertson, Mason, Cullenford. Kirk, Matthew, Griffin and Patrick wrap out your top 10, and quite a few spots were lost. What happened to your youngster? Where did he end up?
Yeah, look, I had to put the blinkers on.
Things could have got angry.
There's a little bit of steam coming out from just to my right here, but never mind.
Yeah, well, if we look back down at that field, he ended up, James Anderson, down in 19th. But that is what happens in this stuff. A lap down, it's the way it goes. So at the moment, the race controller talking to the drivers to let them know what is going on. And that will be a heat number 2 coming up. They will warm up their cars and then go out there. So we just wait. So I think we've got, is it Andrew, we've got a 5-minute, 10-minute while they warm up? What's the plan? Do you know?
Yeah,
Have you
so
heard?
the beauty with the iRacing thing is it just gives people a bit of a chance to regroup, go out, make the little spend a penny time, and then they'll come back and they'll advance the session, and we'll get into the next one. So people are free to go out and have a bit of a run, as we can see a few cars out on track, and then the organisers, the admins, will look at advancing the session. And
All right.
we'll get them all out on a dummy grid for the second heat race.
Okay, so we'll be right back, everyone. They're just going to do a warm-up, and then we'll come bring you race number 2 for the evening. Okay, welcome back. So we are about to go live in our feature race. Now it is a 25-lap race and it is a reverse grid. I will do my best to try and get that for you up on your screen so you can see exactly what's going on. Here we go. They will do a rolling start and warm up the tyres as best they can, but the fastest are going to start at the back. And those who are actually fast but had a shocking race will be starting further up the front. And that's the likes of James Anderson, who might be able to get a little bit of redemption from starting in the third row, ending back in 19th, but now he's back up on the third or fourth row again, Andrew.
Subtle as a sledgehammer.
Was it a tactic or what?
I tell you. No team tactics here at all. But, yeah, look, it's just the way that it works out sometimes on these circuits. The boys, we missed the action during the race, but just as much as we were watching the action up in the top half a dozen or 10, 20 cars, there was just as much action midfield and back.
Yeah, there really was. So we'll wait, and these drivers will sort themselves out into their official grid positions, and they'll get it right eventually. Race control will make sure that happens, and then it'll go green and we go racing. So that'll be fun.
Yeah. Bit of rubbing on the outlap already, so the boys are inflicting a little bit of contact damage already. So I must say that. I don't think we've got any girls racing tonight, have we?
Only James, yeah.
Oh. All right, so this is going to be a great view as they head down the hill around the right-hander as they fire off down the front straight. And let's just see how the concertina works at turn one.
Yeah, because it is a skill set, isn't it? Deciding when to go. They have gone.
They've gone.
And who is going to outbrake? Oh, we've got a red. So, is that a false start, or does iRacing just let them keep going here, Andrew? They're in it.
We're in it. We're underway, so lights are out. Well, we've got one wide on the grass. As we see there, they're going two wide, through turn two, exiting into turn three.
Let's go down the field a little bit, see what's happening. It's actually clean. I am pleasantly surprised.
Oh, there you go, just a bit of rubbing straight on cue. IKEA says, I don't care. I'm in there. Right down the inside. It's got the overlap. Oh, I managed to pull out of it.
Yeah, exactly.
Two behind.
Let's take a look, shall we, further down the field even more. We'll go down a little bit to Matthew Griffin in car 999, who is, as I said earlier in the evening, a genuine BMW race car driving champion who is now trying to adapt into the world of sim racing, and it's not really his thing. He's trying. There he goes there, but sim racing, no, he'd rather be in the real car, but he's doing as well as he can.
Yeah, rocking the Red Bull down the side.
Well, he's having a good time, and meanwhile, Gene Rollinson, who started at the back of the field, has come up 10 spots in the bright blue, and with number 9, 10 positions he's moved up, Andrew, so already he is making himself known amongst the field. Absolutely,
and look at that car. We've got one up ahead as they head into the chicane sideways, but Gene's car there looks still nice and straight, so he's not getting through by contact. Just as I say that again. Oh, commentator's curse. Look at that front splitter. Oh, that's going to cost you a few race suit sales there at Racer Products tomorrow, Gene.
Yeah, it definitely is, but he's got a whole bunch of cars to try and get through. However, he has now made up 16 positions. If we have a look at the field, it is going insane. Now, this is a they've messed it up on pit lane.
Here in pit lane.
Because it is a compulsory pit stop, and they've tried to take it early, and it's cost them because they have to do tyres, and that will drop all those positions made will be lost.
So, well, let's see if he's ticked the fast repair. So he'll get back out in a brand new car, but it certainly doesn't reset the time lost there coming into pit lane. You can see there he's in the last pit stall. The pit crew don't even want to know. They're not even crossing the fence to come and work on it.
No, he has to do it himself. Oh dear. So we've got to try and work out who is what after some have pitted and some have not. And it's going to make it a little bit awkward for us to try and work out who is who, but we'll know further on as the race goes. Although some people
he's made contact on the pit exit. Look at that, he's just cleaned them out.
Oh dear. Well,
here comes.
that's not good.
I missed the name of that. I was too busy watching whether Barbie was going to retaliate there. So Gilchrist and that distinctive pink car, we've got to say it's got the best set of wheels out of anybody, hasn't it?
Yeah,
Look at
I
that.
do like
Check those wheels out.
They are fantastic. So Gilchrist is currently second, but this is due to some pitting and some not.
Correct, yes. These guys out the front, I don't think have taken their compulsory pit stops because they're just about to put Gene a lap down. So we see there just behind in the black car, my man cave colleague.
Yeah,
James,
out on the
just
grass.
running a little bit wide.
I suppose there's going to be some tactics here, isn't there? Just like you do in real life racing. And try and talk us, for those who are actually watching this for something different here tonight, Andrew, they might not understand the tactics of a pit and what is involved, because you can try and stretch yourself ahead or you can lose time if you stay out on the track. What's going through the mind of a driver?
Yeah, so right here, right at the moment, we see Gilchrist is right behind Gene Rollinson, so he's getting held up. So he's going to make the decision here: do I carry on and push on, or is this costing me time? That if I came in and came back out onto the track in clear air with no cars around me, I could actually be circulating quicker. As we see there, James behind, getting quite aggressive. So yeah, Gene's been able to pull away. So part of the strategy is when to pit. Am I in clean air on clean track, which these guys predominantly are, so you've got to think that their lap times are going to be a little bit quicker than if they came in and came out in the middle of a busy pack. So
and I'm just watching what happened down there on turn one, and I don't know, did Gilchrist break the racing rules there by swerving over and blocking Anderson from coming through?
He's checked up in the mid corner there with the brakes. Just
he's under pressure.
In the real world, maybe in iRacing, that's fair game. Here we go, James down the inside, just doing a fakie. Just trying to set him up, get a run up the hill here.
Meanwhile, in the order of positions, Matthew Griffin has moved himself up into fourth. Rivas is 5, Freeman 6, Driver 7. Kirk Bickley, Podjerski has just lost the position to Mason. So that's further back down the field. And Bloomquist, Bennett, Clive Stark, they're all, well, they're just going to have to wind their way through. Although they'll suddenly jump up when a lot of these guys pit.
Yeah, here's one just coming out of pit lane. This is going to hold up James. Is he going to get around the outside? Well, he's just been able to hang in there. So there's a prime example of you could be doing your own thing, keeping out of trouble, and one of the back markers or pitters comes out and just interrupts your flow.
Well, the other problem you've got is that someone who's come out of pits with brand new tyres, the tyres are cold. It's going to take a lap, maybe even two, to get up to race temperature. So you're also braking earlier. You're braking it, you're going into the corners slower. Everything is against a driver with a hot set of tyres stuck behind someone who's just come out, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. We saw that a couple of laps ago. Gene Rollinson was only just in front of these two, and now that his tyres have come up to temperature, he's starting to pull away. We can see him up there in the front in that familiar BMW checkered flag livery. Here's James, closely followed by Sabo.
Yeah, and they're just taking their time now. They seem to have settled into more of a rhythm. Given that it is a 25-lap race, you've got to remind yourself it is not a 10, 12, 15-lap sprint. Let's go back down to Podjerski, who is currently in position number 9 with the pinks. All on his lonesome. Now that's
So
actually a good
nice
thing, isn't it?
Track. It is.
Yeah, it's safe.
So looking at his lap times there.
Well, is that last lap of 50.9? That's incredible if that's the case, out on his own.
Yeah, no, I'm just
No,
bringing
sorry,
up the
that was
graphics
Bloomquist.
there.
Yes, that was
Yeah.
Bloomquist who's behind him. So that means Bloomquist is on an absolute flyer. And I reckon we can try and find Tom Bloomquist, the BMW race car driver. Here he is now. We're on board with him as he goes into the final turns of this racetrack here at Lime Rock Park. And let's just sit with him for a lap, Andrew, and I'd like you to talk through, as he comes across the start-finish line, a lap of this track with Tom Bloomquist. Go for it.
Well, yeah, he's going to show me what to do. This gets it nice and tight here at turn 1. Lets it fade out wide. It's a long right-hander. You finally get out of turn 2 and short little straight up to turn 3. Again, just patience here to get to the inside and open up this corner here. And now we get the long run down what's relatively long. It's the second longest straight on the track. down into the tight chicane, down to first gear. Try not to get too aggressive on the curbs and power on up the hill. And now set yourself up for this fast, high speed. Oh, he's taking it in fourth gear. So there's it shows the aggression that he's using. And just tries to squeeze the power on here down the front straight. It's a busy little lap to get around here in just over 40 seconds.
Well, that's quite incredible.
There was a 51.2, so his consistency here, he's a 52.1, and then he's just consistently rattling off the 51s, 51.3, 51.6, and then the fastest lap so far of the race at 50.9.
Well, the problem for him now is he's got lap traffic, doesn't he? So he's going to have to make a decision here on how to attack the rest of this race. And I guess for a race car driver, yeah, you know the story, there is no decision. You just drive as hard and fast as you can. Yeah,
I think he'd be pretty wise to come in and change tyres and take his pit stop now. But yeah, absolutely, these guys have got one speed, and that's flat out the whole time.
I guess the other problem they've got is they don't have a pit crew to say to them, actually, if you come in now, you'll come out with clean track. So he doesn't know, does he? What his tactical be?
Yeah, that does raise an interesting point, Sooty, because there is the ability, like we are here, we're spectating, and there is the ability for spotters to come in iRacing, so they can actually spot a driver, do what we're doing, jump up and down and see the traffic and see the incidents and call it to their driver, and actually start coaching them with, when they think the strategy is to come into the pits. So
and maybe take some
tactics. It's been outlawed.
Yeah, okay. Well, now the pressure is on. It really is, because he is catching up to some lap traffic here.
Yeah, and these guys are having a battle on their own. Oh, I thought he was going to take the nose off Tom. Jaden Mason there came out very aggressively.
Mason's doing a really good job. I mean, he's certainly not as fast as Bloomquist, so you've just got to be aware that he's going to turn up on you on a corner as they go into this turn one, under brakes. That should hold if he can keep the race. There it goes.
Oh.
Just pressure, wasn't it? Just too much pressure.
Absolutely, that's what happens. So, yeah, he did a good job there. Now Tom can try and seize on the opportunity to get through. See if he can get a run on Jaden down the straight. He certainly has. Look at that. Only just got to drop a wheel on the grass, and the momentum is affected. So
we're looking at behind, and let's just see here the distance, how quickly Bloomquist can pull away. So at the moment, it is technically a car distance behind.
Yeah. So we're on the bumper cam of Jaden here. So we need to actually go forward and try and grab the rear view cam on Tom's car.
Try and find it for some reason.
So at the moment
we are, there it is.
There we go.
So now we can see a distance. So this is our gap, and we'll see how well he pulls away here. And in fact, already within one turn, there's 2 car lengths.
Yeah, the
it's
gap
incredible.
Seesaws in and out under brakes, but you can see here as it extends, Tom's just keeps stretching it more than what Mason is able to close it back up. So there's certainly a couple more car lengths there on that straight as we exit up the hill here. Look at that, the car's just disappearing into the distance.
It's quite interesting, because when we were on board with Bloomquist earlier, he did a first gear into that chicane where a lot of other guys are trying second gear. So he's got a completely different tactic involved, and it's working for him.
Yeah, you've got to think that he's done a lot of hours on a simulator trying to hone his craft, and it's certainly no surprise to see him going pretty quick. 2 laps there, he was caught behind lap traffic, and he was in the mid 52 seconds. That time there with us watching, back into the low 51.3. So just shows you, he's back up to speed real quick.
Yeah, let's take a look at Rivas, who's up ahead now. He's just come out of the chicane. Just come out in the green machine, which is quite a cool colour. I do like that. That's nice. I like the unique colours that some people do on their race cars. So caught up into lap traffic, but here comes
look at this.
the
He's
pit.
going to come off to the pit. So let's watch him here as he dives off into pit lane. Misses the Gene Rollinson wall. And yep, these cars are speed limited, so they do have to engage the pit lane limiter, and there is penalties applied if they come in and speed in pit lane.
So now Bloomquist has gone past, and Bloomquist takes the lead at this point. So pitting, nothing to see there. The car goes up on the jacks. We've got an invisible crew. They are so fast,
they're
you
just
can't even see
busy
them.
eating ice creams. Look at them. Oh, it's just priceless.
You must have had a crew like that in your time,
Look
haven't
at
you?
that guy. Look at that guy. He's not even looking at the car. He's like, no, I'm just going to keep steering over here, mate.
All right, let's see where he pops out. Now,
classic.
he's already dropped 7 positions, so this is what we were talking about earlier. Now coming out on cold tyres, 8 positions down, 9 positions down. Will be, no doubt. There's no way he'll be able to hold on for 2 cars. Could even be 10 or 11. Let's just stay with it because this is going to get quite hectic.
Sabo's just trying to find a way past. He knows he's got to capitalise here while the tyres are cold.
Yeah.
This is where the speed differential is extreme. So here, look for the late under brakes. He's fading to the inside. No, he hasn't been able to pull it off. And look who's now charging up there behind these two. Oh, he's got the overlap, has he? No, he's had to pull out of it. Number 13, Gene Rollinson.
Right
Closing
there.
the gap.
Yeah. Here we go.
Oh, look at the defensiveness down the inside.
Faking left and right, so it's really good attack battle here. It's real good race tactics. There we go again.
Yeah,
We'll go left
inside.
and right. We know there's no race control to call us up for a black flag penalty on this.
Oh, he's going to send it around the outside. Look at them. Oh, look at this. Gene Rollinson's just going to clean these two up. Oh, classic trying to be defensive, but just defending too hard.
And they're very lucky to get back out on the track, but now they're going to cause other problems as they try and sort themselves out. Now, this is way back. This is down in, what are we talking, position number 15.
16th.
Yeah, so way out of the running.
Oh, contact. He's still defending there. He's on the outside.
That's not defense.
Oh, he's turned him around. Oh, and he's going to take Gene out too.
Oh, dear. Oh, dear, oh, dear.
Messy.
Yeah, it has got very messy. This is not going to be
Gene?
fun
It
at
looks
all.
like a factory BMW livery.
Yeah, sorry, we've lost it. So, hang on, we'll go back. Who's coming?
Oh, they're recovering
through?
now. I was there on the outside.
All right. Okay, let's go back to the front of the pack, shall we, and see what's going on with Tom Bloomquist. Here he comes, and his lead at the moment is 3.2 seconds, but I don't think he's pitted. Has he pitted yet? I don't.
No, I've got his lap times up here, and none of them show that he's done the pit stop yet. So
Right.
it's a 25 lap race. You've got to think that the strategy here will be to split it roughly down the middle, but he's going long. So
It's gone way long because we are in lap number 18, and these laps are so short, they're under 60 seconds. So he's going to have to try and create himself a massive gap of what, 4-5 seconds, get into pits.
exit stage left.
With drama going on around, and then try and get out and gain those positions back on cold tyres. I'm not sure this is the right tactic here, Andrew.
Well, yeah, I mean, he's showing a good lot of pace here, so maybe he's been able to pull out enough of a gap that he'll come back and be fighting for the outright contention after this. But
well, he might be comfortable.
He's going to be in this time round.
Might be comfortable with cold tyres, so that could be the angle. Unless he has put in our system is wrong, but at this stage, I'm pretty sure that it's not.
No, we're on lap 19 now, and I'm looking down his timesheets, and other than the slow first lap, I can't see, unless he did come in on lap 1, which would make this a very long stint on that set of tyres.
Okay, let's go to mid-pack, shall we? We're going to go and see what is happening with someone we haven't looked at this evening. Freeman, who is in 11th position, trying to chase down a top 10, and that is Rollinson well out in front of him, and it's 5 seconds. Now, sorry, it's 1.3 seconds. That's doable. Quite doable, isn't it?
To pull himself up the field. Ooh,
to get into that top 10. 1.3 seconds. It's only going to take a small mistake from any of those drivers in the top 10. And Freeman, as you can see there, will be able to move up a slot and get a top 10 finish.
Yeah, well, there's only a few more cars up the road. So, yeah, he's just drifting off the back of Rollinson. But you got to think Rollinson's one of the pace setters here in this field tonight.
Yeah, well,
and
let's look at
maybe
that.
he can just drag himself up, or whilst Rollinson here is in a battle with Patrick, it might just play into the hands of Freeman.
Well, it could do,
mop it
because this will slow them down a little bit, but also an incident could happen, and into the barrier they will go. So a dive under deep under turn number 1 on brakes, and that was very slick.
Yeah, that was a very wise move there of Patrick to leave Gina the racing room on the inside. And he can now hopefully tuck him behind him and get himself dragged up the field.
Yeah, let's take a look at that gap, though, back from Freeman, 1.7. So still a fair bit for him to try and get into the top 10. with Rollinson moving into 9. It's still Lowndes, Sturrock, Anderson, Griffin, Dunstall, Clive, Gilchrist and Bloomquist make up your top 10. Now, what is going on in positions 2 and 3? Let's go into, and there's someone in the wall.
Barbie, what are you
That's
doing?
why. Yes, so he has gone from second position to will be last, and Clive is out on his own in second spot there. In quite a retro livery, to be fair.
Yeah, look, the good thing with iRacing, isn't it, is the creativity that is brought out in these guys to make up their own liveries. Some of them are available on trading paints, but a lot of the guys spend a lot of time coming up with their own custom liveries, which is really, really cool.
Yeah, that's right. We are in lap number 21 of 25. Bloomquist, Clive, Dunstall. And let's try and check where Dunstall is, because he is in a little bit of a fight, but I think he's under pressure and is going to lose a spot, because Griffin is there alongside your young buck, James Anderson. This is going to be a ripper.
Yeah, there's certainly a battle pack forming here. James down the inside.
Oh, great move
run
on Griffin. Yeah, really good run. So that's a position gained by Anderson, up into 4th now.
Oh, there's a bit of pocket money going to be spent on that panel damage.
Yeah, I'm just noticing the right front bumper has a few extra curves on it, the guards there. Has it been
Interesting that he still had the pace. Interesting that he still had the pace in a straight line, though, with that aero being affected, because it certainly does simulate some drag in the game. So it's obviously not affecting him here, as he's getting a good look under the back of Dunstall. So drop down the hill one more time.
Chasing him really well too, but Griffin just lost that little spot in the previous lap, but he's gained it back. He's now got his, well, he's got his jandal back on, and he's right there behind, and he's the only one not wiggling all over the track. He's in a good fight. Griffin's doing his best. Let's go on board with him, shall we, and see what it looks like from behind as he tries to go in tight.
So you can hear the patience there on the throttle. Just taking it easy, making sure the car's rotated, get it turned. See a little bit of defensiveness going up ahead from Dunstall.
Yeah, so while he's also racing, he's also hoping that these two in front have a little bit of a ding-dong, a come together, and that'll give him and gift him a spot right away, which is a nice way to gain positions. You'd never say no.
Oh, you take them any way you can. Any way except the aggressive punt them off out your way.
Yeah, let's look at Dunstall, and they go around on some lap traffic, so he's still holding off Anderson, who tries down the outside. He might try the switch. That pressure doesn't work. There's a bit of extra dab on the brakes, isn't there, from Dunstall? He's feathering the brakes. He went in hotter than he wanted to into turn number 1.
On the inside.
So it's good pressure from Anderson, because it forced Dunstall to go into turn 1 in a way he didn't want to do, and it's kind of messed up the rest of his lap.
We've only got 1.5 laps to go. Oh, he's made a mistake there.
There it is. Let's keep an eye on it.
Room. James is on the favoured inside line here. You've got to think he's going to finish this off.
Yeah, but here comes Griffin as well. We want to stick with this. We know he's in the wall, so we get to watch Griffin come down the inside on Anderson, side by side into the final turn. And is this the position? I think this is the white flag, is it right now? We are on the last lap. Bloomquist Bloomquist out in front must have already taken his pit.
Yeah, he must have gone in that gaggle of cars that went in at lap 1.
All right, well, we're going to stay here. We're going to stay here in positions number 3 and 4 between Anderson and Griffin. We know Clive and Bloomquist are well out in front. Anderson goes a little wide over the ripple strip. He's trying to use every little bit of the racetrack available to him. And he's also slowed himself down a little bit, because Griffin has got back on him. I don't think there's enough time. Can he do a switch here? I don't think so. If Anderson can hold on to this last turn, he'll stick and get the podium finish. I think he's got enough length. He's got 2 car lengths in front. He'll be able to hold on. I think he's got it, Andrew. He'll be able to take that position, but a good run from Griffin. But that's a fine finish, really.
It was. Here we go. Let's look for the typical race ending iRacing, send it to the fence at the final corner.
The compulsory chaos, and the rest of the drivers are just starting to filter their way through in this feature race. Bloomquist easily winning it by a marathon as the rest of them.
Hayden Kirk's coming into turn 1. No, he's not going to join the crash party.
He's just going to ease himself off.
He's going to camouflage himself out on the grass again.
Oh dear. So that is the end of our feature race here. We'll wait for the results to come up. They have now come up. Let's try and see who did what.
There's no liveries on
So let's go to the results, shall we, with Bloomquist winning there. And that was a clean run, wasn't it, Andrew, with Clive in second, Anderson and Griffin, Dunstall, Rollinson, Lowndes, Sturrock, Freeman, Patrick, Kirk, Reeves, driver Cullingford, Sabo well down in the field. He did not have a very good run at all. And really further down in the field, Andrew, it just, there plenty of lap traffic.
Yeah, it was. It was a busy little track, as we talked about at the opening segment, with all these cars around here. But you've got to say it was a great show, and the series is only going to go from strength to strength.
Yeah, Pajerski way down in the field, so 14 laps down, 21 laps down for Robertson, and 25 laps down for Simon. So, yeah, a few of them having some major dramas, but a big congratulations to those who did all right. And just a reminder, if that was Bloomquist, Clive and Anderson taking out your top 3 positions. So that is us from the round 2 of the BMW Race Driver E-Series, the New Zealand racing here at Lime Rock Park. They'll be back again on Monday night. Andrew, will you going to book that in? Have we got your dulcet tones available again?
I'm sure we can negotiate the appropriate fee.
All right, we'll try and see how that works. The check's in the mail, as they say. As they say. Yeah. So thank you very much, Andrew. Appreciate your time tonight.
No problem.
All right, so Andrew Anderson, he'll go off and have a chat to James and find out how his race did or didn't go. And I'll be back again, in a week's time with the BMW Race Drivers Series. So from us, thank you very much. It was an absolute pleasure bringing it to you. And we will see you again in a week. Bye-bye for now.